Hello and welcome to Community Connection. I'm your host, Gloria Enloe. The goal of Community Connection is to let the people in Jefferson City know what's happening in their community. Jefferson City has a lot to offer in the way of entertainment. It seems there's always a play, a concert, something happening that you need to know about, and a lot to keep you entertained. And especially as we start to warm up, as winter starts to give way to spring and eventually to summer, there's going to be even more events that you need to know about. And one place that offers a lot of entertainment is our very own Missouri River Regional Library. And so with me today, we have two guests from the library, Eric Lyon and Taryn Pruitt. And welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, one of the things that we're going to be talking about today is one of my favorite events of the year. It's something JCTV always covers, and it's a lot of fun. And that is the Mid-Missouri Storytelling Festival. And Taryn, can you tell us a little bit about that?
The Mid-Missouri Storytelling Festival is a festival where we bring in professional tellers from all over the United States, and they spend 2 days going to about 38 schools, 3 retirement centers, and then we have 3 concerts. And they're awesome, and that's what they do for a living. That's how they make, the best way, a lot of people a lot of times go, oh, well, what stories do they read? They don't read. And the best kind of a idea to give them is, do you like Garrison Keillor in Prairie Home Companion? Okay, that's storytelling. And it's awesome. And we're in our 14th year.
I know that I've been to several of the festivals now. Last year I took my daughter to one, and I mean, they have a little bit of everything. They incorporate music, they do impressions, voices, and they mix, usually a good story with a little bit of comedy too.
Yes.
Right.
Any of the tellers that are going to be repeats or that you're really looking forward to this year?
We have some repeats and we have some new ones. Bobby Norfolk is coming back. He is an international storyteller out of St. Louis. He's coming back. He does a little bit of everything. That is one thing we really try to do. We try to make sure that the tellers just are very versatile. Everyone has like a little different niche. We have one, he's not coming back this year, but he was there last year, who draws cartoons while he tells stories. And he's actually the director of the Peanuts Museum in Pennsylvania, or Philadelphia. Wow. And you have that. We have one that does she uses puppets while she tells, Priscilla Howe. But this year we have a few new ones coming in. We try to change it up as much as we can. It is not a cheap, thank goodness for all our sponsors that help us in the community that help sponsor it. And the kids love it. But these tellers can go, at one point, they'll be telling from K through 8th grade at the parochial schools. And it is amazing. They keep their attention. They don't lose the kindergartners and they don't lose the 8th graders.
It's not easy
because
to do.
It just makes, no. To get up there and try to, do it, I have a hard time just going up and introducing. By the time that's done, they're, got the cane pulling me off the stage.
Right.
But just a lot of fun. We have one that's coming back this year that I am looking forward. She comes out of Florida, and her name's Pat Neese. And for adults, we do an adult concert on Friday night, and she will have you rolling in your seats. And she can take the smallest thing. One story is about the socks in the dryer and how they fell in love. And year before last when she was here, it was about birds and how they set up their little area and how they become human and real. But her adult telling just is so entertaining. You just sit there and laugh.
And I think that's really neat that you do 2 concerts. You have the adults concerts on Friday and then the family concert on Saturday. Because a lot of people, when they hear storytelling, they think automatically kids.
Yes.
But yeah, the adult concert's a lot of fun too.
Yes, the adult concert is a lot of fun for the adults. And we do ask that it be for adults. I do have, sometimes they call and they say, well, I have a 16-year-old. Depends on what. These stories are geared more toward adults, have more of an adult type of a theme to them. than the family concerts on Saturday, which are geared for families and kids. The Friday night is geared for the mom and dad to come out and listen, grandma and grandpa, to come out and have a really good time.
Well, that's really cool. And I know that the storytellers are always real friendly and they're really great. And if you really like what they do, they usually have information, websites and things that people can go to find out more about them.
And they have, some of them bring their CDs and you can purchase them or whatever.
Great. Well, Eric, I know that you are also busy at the library.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that you are in charge of is the reading program. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, you can't have a library without a story time.
Right.
And so that is a big portion of what we do at the library. But we always have the daytime story times. We have ones every week on Wednesdays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But for those families who aren't able to come in during the day, we want to open things up and have them available for the evening. So we are going to start having, we actually are having them right now, in cooperation with our Tail Wagging Tutors events, which are reading therapy dogs that they can come in and read to, the children can. We will have family story times before those events, the half hour before, to kind of lead into the storytelling with the dogs. We aren't the professionals like they are, but we certainly can tell a good tale. And so we like to have as many children and families out as possible before those events for our family story times. So.
Well, I think it's really great that you're doing that in the evening too, because a lot of parents do work or are busy during the day, and so this just, I think, opens you up to an even wider audience.
Absolutely, right.
Well, you briefly mentioned Tail Wagging Tutors, where kids come in and read to therapy dogs. Can you tell us some of the reasoning behind that?
Well, these are dogs that are in training to go into hospitals and help those that need a therapy dog. It's a wonderful thing for patients to have. And so these are dogs in training, and we offer them a space to come in and apply their skills. And they have to work with groups well. There are all of this criteria that goes along with it. And so we offer them a space to come in, and there are 2 different ladies who come in with 3 different dogs. And 3 times a month we have them there, and they can apply their skills, and the children have a great companion to read to. So it's
what's nice too is a lot of times children are reading in class. If you're not a really good reader, sometimes they don't want to read because they're afraid the kids are going to laugh at them. A dog's not going to laugh at you, and they can sit there and they can read these dogs, and these dogs are so attentive. It is, I mean, they're just like they're into the story. And that way the child feels a lot safer because there's nobody criticizing them. There's nobody saying, oh, you missed that word.
Right.
The dogs are just enjoying every word they're saying. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's wonderful for kids, especially kids who are learning to read and having a hard time, and to come and do that, where they're reading to someone who enjoys every little word they say. They don't care.
Maybe we should have story times for dogs.
Well, I think a lot of times kids and dogs kind of go hand in hand. I know my daughter's just crazy about dogs. So.
Absolutely.
So that's really neat. And Eric, one of the things I noticed is, you know, at the Storytelling Festival and at different events that I go to at the library, there's always something for kids to do. There's a lot of activities, lots of crafts, lots of arts, and is that just something that you're constantly working on to make sure that that's
things we're both working on all the time? Absolutely. We have at least 1 or 2 what we call Be Creative events a month, where the kids can come in. Usually, we try to vary the age range so that we catch everybody that we can within what we cater to in our department. And so, yeah, we always have crafts. Absolutely. You can't go wrong with crafts and dogs and storytelling. It's all wonderful. So
all rolls together.
Crayons,
absolutely,
you know,
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I have just found out about, and I didn't realize it was kind of sweeping the country the way it is, Geek the Library.
Yes.
Taryn, tell us, what is Geek the Library?
Geek the Library is a program that was started, and I'm thinking it's either Michigan or Minnesota. I know it's in
somewhere
one of those two, somewhere north, that they started, and what it was to make their community more aware of what the library was about. And so it went over really well, and so they've made it possible that libraries throughout the country can participate. And you contact them, they have a person that helps you, get everything together and what you need, and we get promos for it. And what Geek the Library is what people can say what they love, what you geek. I geek romance, I geek fishing, I geek whatever. And it's just showing that the library, just getting them out there and letting people know. I geek CDs, DVDs. A lot of people think that the library is still like it was when I was a kid. It was a place to go. You were quiet, you read. Well, that's not your libraries anymore. Your libraries offer so much. I mean, we have a PCC center where people can come and find their emails. So the idea is to find out what people geek and what they like about the library and getting it out into the community to make them more aware of what we are, what we offer, and what we can do for the community. And it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, every time we go, there's always something going on. It doesn't cost you anything. You're in a nice, comfortable, climate-controlled environment, which is going to be really important in a few months.
Yes.
And I know April's going to be a big month for you guys. And
Huge.
Talking about Geek the Library, I know in April you're going to kind of show the people of Jefferson City just how much you appreciate them.
Appreciate them. We
Absolutely.
do, it's during National Library, we do Patron Appreciation Day, which is Saturday the 14th. It'll be from 11 to 1. And we have hot dogs, soda chips, we have games, crafts for the kids, we'll have a DJ. And it's just to tell the community thank you for our patrons and everybody for supporting us and being there and being part of it. And at that time, the mayor will actually be there to present our director with a proclamation that it is Geek the Library Month. So it's kind of cool that, you know, now we're all geeking, so everybody can get their geek on and decide what they really want to geek, no matter what it is.
Well, and Eric, I just wanted to say, I know that you help a lot with the children's programs, you know, the reading and the crafts and all that. And I know we went to the Library Appreciation Day, Patron Appreciation Day last year, and my daughter had a blast because it's not like a quiet library anymore. You got hula hooping and a DJ playing and all kinds of things. So more of that to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We don't always have crafts set up in the children's department, but we do for that day. So absolutely.
Great. And Taryn, if you could one more time remind our viewers when the Mid-Missouri Storytelling Festival is taking place.
The Mid-Missouri Storytelling Festival starts on April 26th. For the 26th and 27th, that's when our tellers go to the schools. Then on Friday the 27th at 7:30 p.m., we have our adult concert. And then on Saturday, April 28th, we have at 10 o'clock here at our main library and also in the Osage County Library, we have a family concerts.
And Eric, if someone is interested in joining one of those evening story time tellings, where can people find out when those are and learn more?
Easiest way ever is to go to our website. It's www.mrrl.org and go to our calendar of events, and everything you want to know is on there. Or you could give us a call, 634-2464, and ask for the Children's Department.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank both of you for coming on Community Connection today.
Well, we
Thank you.
really appreciate you having us here. We're always ready to promote what the
Absolutely.
library does.
Well, you have so much to do. I'm sure our viewers will be seeing more of you guys in the
Fantastic.
coming months.
We would love that.
Great.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank our viewers at home for watching Community Connection. Don't go anywhere, because in the second half of the programming, we're going to be telling you about even more events that are coming to you from Jefferson City. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be right back.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 little piggies ready to play. The big pig is Pedro. Pedro Piggy. He's the big piggy.
Everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
In the next 60 seconds, 12 people in our world will go blind. One of them a child. Hello, I'm Jimmy Carter. Experts predict in the next 15 years, the number of blind people could double to 75 million, yet 80% of blindness is preventable. Lions Clubs International has long been a champion of blindness prevention. I know because I am a Lion. Since 1990, Lions Clubs have saved the vision of 24 million people in countless communities through the Sight First program. Now, Lions have launched campaign Sight First 2 to expand blindness prevention programs worldwide and save the sight of 37 million more. Vision improves lives. We need your help. Support your local Lions Club. Save sight through campaign Sight First 2. Donate, volunteer, get involved. For more information, visit www.lionsclubs.org.
Hello, and welcome back to Community Connection. I'm your host, Gloria Enloe. During the first half of the show, we were lucky enough to talk to a couple people from Missouri River Regional Library about some exciting events that they have coming up, including the Mid-Missouri Storytelling Festival, and those are always really fun events. It sounds like they have a lot going on, so I'm glad you're able to tune in and find out about what's happening in Jefferson City. Well, now in the second half of the show, we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about what's happening at JCMG. Now, one thing JCMG has been doing recently that I think is really neat is they've been giving free seminars to the community. They cover different topics. They had one on plastic surgery, and now they're going to have one on wrist, elbow, and joint pain, that sort of thing. And I have someone here who can talk about it a little bit better than I can, Dr. Joyce Wilson. Dr. Wilson, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do at JCMG, and how long you've been doing it.
Okay. Well, I'm the newest orthopedic surgeon at JCMG. I'm actually subspecialized in hand surgery, so I do most things from the kind of the mid-shoulder, mid-humerus on down to the hand. So I treat things, like you said, like joint pain, tendinopathies, arthritis, those types of things. So I've been there since September. I started September 1st, and after a little maternity leave, I've come back and am in full force taking care of patients again.
So you've been there since September. Are you new to the Jefferson City community, or?
I am,
okay.
Yes. My husband and my family, we came here in August after I finished my fellowship in hand surgery in Cincinnati, and so we've been a part of the community since August of last year, and I started in September. So.
Well, welcome to our town.
Thank you.
I'm hoping you're enjoying it.
We are.
Well, one of the goals of Community Connection is to let people in Jefferson City know what's happening, because sometimes I hear things that there's never anything to do, and I said, well, if you know the right places to look, there's plenty to fill your calendar. Mm-hmm. One such event is the seminar that you're going to be giving. Can you tell us what that is and when that's happening?
So it's a free seminar. It will take place on April 24th at 6 o'clock, I believe. I think it's from 6 to 7. We'll cover various topics on hand and upper extremity ailments. So things like trigger fingers, wrist arthritis, thumb arthritis, tendinitis of the elbow, carpal tunnel syndrome, things like that. Just anything about, if you ever ask if you ever ask yourself, why does my finger look like that, or why does my hand do that, or why does my hand feel that way, or my arm feel that way, those are the types of things that we'll probably cover during that seminar.
Now, are the type of ailments that you're going to be covering usually the result of injuries, or are they just conditions people inherit, develop over time, mm-hmm. or is it a little bit of everything? It's
kind of a little bit of everything. There are certain things, certain types of arthritis or certain tendinopathies that develop after some sort of trauma, but oftentimes people are just unlucky, and they have certain genetics that predispose them to developing certain types of ailments, like trigger fingers, like thumb arthritis, like tendinitis of the elbow. And sometimes it's work-related. If you do repetitive things over and over, you're going to get in certain types of problems. So,
the work you do, is it something that keeps you pretty busy? Are there a lot of people that suffer from these types of conditions?
Well, the work that I do on an elective and on an emergency basis definitely keeps me busy so far. I've been very happy with the amount of patient volume that I've had so far. There's a lot of people who do have carpal tunnel syndrome, who have thumb arthritis, and then just people out in the community who are turning on their snow blowers for the first time and trying to clean their lawnmowers and stick their hand up in the blades and have problems with their fingers after that. So. Yeah. So yes, it's keeping me very busy.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because this time of year, I bet people are doing more things like that, starting to do yard work and mm-hmm. be outside. And then, of course, in the summer, you have people that are messing with fireworks or fires and stuff
Yep.
like that, and that can always contribute to things.
Yes.
Is the seminar going to focus more on identifying problems or treatment or just relief? What are some of the topics you'll cover?
So it'll probably be somewhat on a very general basis. So we'll cover various things like I've said before: trigger fingers, carpal tunnel, thumb arthritis, and then we'll talk about why they come about, the symptoms that people will have, and some of the treatments that people can try before coming to see a hand surgeon. And then, of course, obviously, like the surgical treatments, we'll also cover those things, but more of on a very superficial basis. I'm not going to get into, exactly how we do the surgery or the post-op care, but just things that people can consider and think about, oh, this is what I should do perhaps at this time, and then whether or not they should think about making an appointment with me.
Right.
So.
Well, and you're going to have a lot of people there, and obviously you can't diagnose each case because every case is different. And then no one really wants to ever have to deal with surgery. If people are just experiencing some discomfort in their wrists or in their elbows or stuff, is there preventative things that people can do or things that they can do to just kind of take care of themselves and not get to the point where they might need surgery?
Yes, there's always, the old adage, if you do something and it hurts, stop doing it. One of those things, repetitive motions over time will cause you to have some tendonitis and things like that. So if it hurts, then stop doing it. Take a little time off. Take some anti-inflammatories, and sometimes wearing braces, even some over-the-counter braces, are very helpful, especially for tendonitis of the elbow, the little straps that people can buy over the counter, or wrist braces, believe it or not, do help with some tendinopathies of the elbow. And the wrist braces help with carpal tunnel syndrome, and some wrist braces help with thumb arthritis. So there are preventative measures, or even things that you can do once you've developed the symptoms that will prevent further injury or further pain associated with it. So.
I think some people get an image in their head of the type of people that might suffer from carpal tunnel or arthritis or things like that, and they think, oh, it affects older generation or people that work in an office all day long. But do you see that a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds kind of suffer from these conditions? There
are. Sometimes even I am surprised about the 30-year-olds that come in with carpal tunnel syndrome, or the big, strong men who come in and have thumb arthritis, because that's usually an old lady's disease. No offense to anyone, but usually that's right. The women who are over 50 or over 60 that develop the thumb arthritis and things. But even I'm surprised about sometimes when people come in and the diagnoses that they have. But yeah, anyone can be afflicted with those types of things, with certain lifestyles. And it's carpal tunnel syndrome is not just for the people, the secretaries that sit in front of the computers. People who are heavy laborers often get carpal tunnel syndrome a lot. So yeah.
I think sometimes that there's this mindset that it's just a little bit uncomfortable. I should be able to tough it out and work through it. But do you think that a lot of times people kind of overlook some of these early warning signs and then it gets to be a real problem?
I think especially people who have had some form of trauma, either to their fingers or their wrists, often kind of write it off as a sprain. And sometimes people have done real damage to their wrists, and as they continue to use their wrist or their fingers, they continue to cause further damage. And so if something's going on for more than a week or two and it just doesn't feel quite right, perhaps coming in and just getting an x-ray just to reassure your mind is probably better than waiting 5 or 6 months and then having a real problem. So there are things that you can do before having a bad diagnosis, if you just have a little bit of common sense and get things checked out early. So.
The seminar that you're going to be giving, is it aimed towards a particular group of people, or are you just trying to reach people that might be suffering in pain? Who's your target audience?
So, well, I think there's going to be a little bit of something for everyone. I'm going to be covering a wide variety of topics, and so anyone who has any kind of questions about why does this feel this way, why does my finger look crooked, why does my finger pop, why does my hand have this ache, why do I have this little bump here? Anyone who has any kind of questions like that, I think something in the seminar will be able to touch base with them somewhere. So it's a pretty general, it's going to be a very general seminar. So.
Well, you'll be the one leading the seminar. Are you looking forward to that?
Well, public speaking is not really my forte, but I think it'll be okay because I'm talking about something that I know hopefully a lot about.
Right.
So I think it'll go okay.
Are hoping for a big crowd?
I think so. I hope so. I think JCMG has done a very good job so far of promoting it, so I think they're trying to draw a large audience. So I think there'll be a lot of people.
And I think we do need
And
to
there's going to be free refreshments, so who can pass up that?
Right, you learn a little bit of something, and
That's
then you
right.
get to enjoy some refreshments too.
That's right. That's right.
And I think we should stress that reservations are required for this event, even though it's a
Yes.
free event. You want to kind of have a head count, know who's coming.
Yes, to make sure that everyone has a refreshment or a beverage.
Right.
So
Okay, one more time, remind us when this is taking place.
the seminar will be April 24th from 6 to 7 p.m., I believe.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Dr. Wilson, thank you so much for coming in today.
You're welcome.
And I'd like to thank our viewers at home for watching Community Connection. If you cannot make this seminar, I'm sure that JCMG is going to be offering even more seminars. Like I said, they've had several now, and they're always a lot of fun. And we just encourage people to go out in the Jefferson City community and experience everything this town has to offer. Don't go anywhere. We have more great JCTV programming coming your way. Thank you so much for watching.